Hey everybody, welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. We are going to continue where we left off as we now are going to make our way into the tower now that we've cleared out everywhere else. I feel pretty good about what we found here at Heritage Hill. I think we found everything we were supposed to. Yeah, and we even got a kitty pet now. We got a kitty. Kitty! Alright, let's see what's up. The massive stone door of the tower is sealed, and there doesn't appear to be any way of opening it. Speak the words you learned from the leaden key acolyte. You hear rumbles and clanks from hidden tumblers as the doors unlock. Ooh, we made it inside. Nope. Oh, okay, yep, immediately. Yep, that's about right.
I'm no pack mule. Let's offload this junk.
Faced having a week of study, and we're still none the wiser about this device. Trendig remains optimistic. I don't know what I'd do without his spirit. Dearest Mother and Father, you will be pleased to hear that I've learned much already since coming to the city. There are many incredible ruins nearby, and Master Greg, Greg, has already allowed me to accompany him on a number of expeditions. I'm writing to you from inside an ancient Ingwithin tower. There's an entire district built up around it, but the locals have mostly left the tower untouched. They have let us set up temporary living quarters here so our work can continue uninterrupted. It is an unsettling place at times, but Master Greg has been a constant comfort, and he is quick to remind me that the things we learn from this tower may one day help us find a cure for Waidwin's legacy. I better get some rest now. Mr. Greg likes to get an early start to the day. All my love, Trendig. Oh, and we are out of room, so we cannot pick these letters up. We need to sell some shit. That's okay. We'll do that in a bit. Seems we have some more fighting. Yep, some more fighting.
I'm no pack mule. Let's offload this junk.
Day 2. We have completed our measurements of the machine thanks to Trendig's youthful agility. Further examination is required to discover its intended use. Interesting.
I'm not going anywhere like this. That's not very helpful.
Let's offload this.
I'd gladly
Pack
shoulder
mule.
them.
Let's
The
offload
pack
this
won't
junk.
hold anymore. Leif Dalfila Thili.
Moe Ixi Ana. Moe Ixi Ana.
Leif Dal.
11. Finally got out of the tower to clear our heads. Beasts take the patrons. We'll finish the study on our own terms, our own time. Just as I said much to Trendig, the sky came to life with stray lightning. I said it's a good omen, but the poor lad's spooked. Only cure for that is a good night's sleep. Ten, patrons grow impatient with the lack of quantifiable results. They should drag themselves out of their mansions and spend a few nights here if they think it's so easy.
I'm no pack mule. Let's offload this junk.
Aldhelm, I did indeed receive your recent summons, as well as the two that came before it. I'd been waiting for you to present yourself on my doorstep so that I could give you my answer in person, a firm and unwavering no. I won't help you. In fact, I relish the idea of you and your team of glorified engineers sitting in that tower, sweating over the runes I've studied for years. Nothing gives me greater pleasure than knowing that my research, which you've long disparaged, is the missing piece in your mundane little puzzle. As you well know, it's knowledge I've always valued. I'm just around the corner. I encourage you to find me should you wish to rehash this conversation in person. Yours truly, Acanta.
I'm no pack mule. Let's offload this junk. I'm no pack mule. Let's offload this junk. Let's offload this junk.
Let's try this configuration. Still nothing. Confounded device.
Well. Oh no, he's still alive. A man hunches over the strange mechanism, his spine a sharp ridge rising from his arched back. He's barely clothed in filthy rags, and the patches of skin you see are mottled green. A spoiled stench emanates from him. He's so intent on his work that he doesn't notice you until your shadows fall over him. When he turns and sees you, he snarls and scuttles behind the Adra pedestal. Only his bared teeth seem to have escaped decay. His eyes are yellowed and bloodshot, but they flicker with intelligence. He averts his gaze and holds a hand in front of his face.
Shouldn't be here. What do you want?
Tell me what happened here.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He hisses. He smashes a fist into the Adra pillar. His hand makes a crunching noise, but doesn't bleed.
Forgive me. Forgive me.
He covers his face with his other hand.
Research. We came to do research on the tower. Some commission from gods. It hardly matters now.
He clenches his fists into concentration. Aloth's lips twist in disgust. If I had a copper skyet for every fool animancer whose thirst for knowledge led to a disaster, well, I never would have ended up in Gilded Vale, that's for sure. Whatever happened, I just need you to give me the facts. Please.
Something happened on our 11th night. Lights in the sky and a static charge in the air. But we were so careful. We were staying in the chambers below. Trindig, my assistant, said he saw a robed figure lurking around the tower. Wore a mask. Carried knives at his sides. A trick of shadows, I told him. The next morning, we felt strange, like we hadn't eaten in weeks. So dazed that we didn't at first notice the blood around our beds, the strange wounds that had appeared overnight. And the machine, this cursed spire, dormant for 2,000 years. Lifeless through hundreds of our experiments, and we wake that morning to find it spinning on its own. On its own! How can we stop what we couldn't start?
As exciting as the prospect of a living machine may be, I suspect that given mention of a machine and a masked figure both, there is another explanation.
Years I've been doing this. Years. I know how these things work, but I don't know how this happened. Nowhere to go. That's the problem. Their souls are trapped here like flies in a jar, clinging to rotting meat.
He turns to you in a sudden burst of passion. He gazes at the forsaken district beneath the tower. He gestures at the streets. Slow down. What does the machine have to do with souls?
No time to slow down. But I can explain. Hold a magnet over iron splinters and they stick, yes? Rub your hand over weir wool and the hair of your head will follow it. So it is with this machine.
A tremor of frustration runs through his face. He looks at you and runs his tongue along the edges of his fine, strong teeth. He quickly looks away.
For what? And how many others lie buried in the ruins of Erglonfoth? No. Focus on this one. It's imprisoned our souls in our bodies. Cut the root between essence and flesh. Left a dwindling soul stuck in a shriveling husk.
He screws his fists into his eyes. How can I help?
Not your help I need. It's Harridan shrew. Squanders her research on frivolities, then refuses to make herself useful. Runes. The runes are the last part of the puzzle. Acantha knows them. She gives them to you, and you can turn the machine off. Release our souls.
Aldhelm snarls. He shivers, scowling. Wait! Runes? The Ingwithan runes? She can read them? He speaks of this feat so blandly. Let's talk instead to this Harridan, Rudar. I'd pick her thoughts a time. She wasn't here the night the machine came on, staying with her patrons somewhere near. Too good to be burdened with our ignorant company. There was a stranger in the tower the night this happened.
I didn't see him. My assistant, he saw him. We laughed. Said he was spooked by the cemetery. Perhaps it was already too late. I don't know what he did. But by morning the machine was on and we were slain. People were already on the streets, complaining of neighbors and family members acting strangely.
He hesitates, his lips working soundlessly, as if he can't remember, or can't say, his name. You're not like the ghouls in the street.
Not yet. But I will be. My body is dead. My soul, imprisoned in this corpse, only makes it seem otherwise. And as the body decays, so does the mind. Until nothing is left but the hunger. The only way to forestall the process is through a regular infusion of essence. Living flesh is the only ready supply.
Something gurgles in Aldhelm's voice, and he grimaces. He heaves and retches, eyeing you strangely.
I'm not proud of any of it. Hunting men and women in the early days of the affliction. Picking off soldiers that came to investigate. But I'd do it again. I'll do it as long as I must to end this disaster.
One shaky hand scratches at his bare, sword-eaten chest.
You could help. Help me end this. Help me find sustenance.
What happened to the rest of your team?
By the time I realized what had happened, the district had already been sealed. So we fed when we needed, and locked ourselves in the tower to work. And then there came a time when the hunger struck, and there was hardly anyone left.
I'll get the words from Acantha.
Yes, Acantha. She was here, in the district. Probably here still, always prepared. Clever lady, that one. And perhaps you'll bring me something. Something to keep me sharp. Then I show you a secret about the machine. Something to make you strong.
A violent tremor racks his body. There's a saying in Raltai about feeding sharks. Don't do this, Rudar. If nothing else, you're liable to lose a hand. We need to find Akanta. And hopefully that will give us what we need to figure out what happened here. Seems the Adra, and then whatever else is involved with this machine, has created the problem. Oh, I remember now. I remember. We've ran into her already. We might have to fight her. She's the lady that's feeding off people and maybe vampire question mark, because I don't think she's a ghoul. I think she's a vampire. I think she's something else. She doesn't seem the same type of creature, at the very least. Maybe she's not a vampire, but she's not a ghoul. That's very clear. And here.
You return. What have you come seeking this time?
I need the words that operate the Ingwithan machine in the tower.
That fool Aldhelm. He sent you, didn't he? I can hardly believe he's had the cleverness to survive. That simpleton thinks he can understand how to use something without understanding what it is, or why it is.
She laughs, a noise that blends the crunch of dry leaves with something piercing and white-hot. You feel a hot core of pride smoldering at the center of her soul.
He dabbles with ancient and powerful devices, with all the finesse of a blacksmith. He sends you here to petition me for aid after years of disparaging my research. I'll bet he didn't even tell you the tower's name, did he? That's his problem. Always looking for solutions without caring for meaning.
She shakes her head as she pokes at the fire with renewed ferocity. Humble Aldhelm now by demonstrating the value of your research. My silence demonstrates it more succinctly. Her words fan the strange coals at the center of her soul. Tell me the tower's name.
Ter Nuneth. It's called Ter Nuneth. They built the machine atop it to contain souls, hold them in place. But the others I've seen, machines scattered all over the Dyrwood, are relays, built to move souls.
Akanta closes her eyes. Her voice is suddenly soothing. She stands and turns to you, wiping parchment dry hands on her clothes, on her clothes. How do you operate the machine atop Ter Nuneth?
Back to these tinkers' concerns. And what would you do with these tethered souls if I told you?
She crosses her arms over her unmoving chest. I'd release them.
So you say. And just what would you release them to? They'd abandon their existence here for another somewhere else, equally aimless and meaningless.
I could help you, but I won't. The pride lodged in her soul flares up, twisting into the shape of something that writhes and squeals within her. Here I have specimens aplenty, and time enough to observe them all. It's every scientist's dream. My answer is no.
What? But what good is observing all this if you're going to hoard it for yourself? Tell her, Rudar, an entire language at your fingertips, and she hides it away.
Yeah, it's time we extinguish that pride. The vampire doesn't seem to notice as you wrap your mind around the squalling, burning mass. However, it sears your very bones. You jump back, crying out in pain. I won't abandon this opportunity. These souls will remain here with me, and I'll accomplish more than any animancer in the history of the field.
Hoarding knowledge is pointless.
The burning thing roars to life. Nothing is more important. We gather and study, and through it transcend the 1,000 insectoid lives that brought it to us.
And who will know about it?
The pride thing flickers as the flame surrounded a bait. All I've learned, years of studying with Ingwithan language, no one understands it better than me. That counts for something. Extinguish that pride. You force your essence around the burning lump inside her, but it scorches you. God.
Your opportunities here are finite. One day that knowledge will die with you.
The pride hisses and sputters, a little more than an ember now. You're wrong! But there's no conviction in her voice. I'll build it forever. I'll cling to it. That will give me something. Extinguish! You reach for it, but it's still too hot to grasp in your mind for more than a second. It may not be much, but it's still something. You can't take that away from me.
Will that really be enough for you?
The dying cinder clings to life. It will. It must be.
No.
It's still too hot.
Teach me what you know. I'll make sure that it grows and your legacy lives on.
Your words finally quench her pride, and all that remains is a blackened, diamond-hard rock. You cast it away, where it melts into the darkness.
So
Her
be
vo-
it. My studies and efforts shall grow through yours.
Her voice is calm and quiet.
These are the words you need.
Her cold, dry fingertips rest on your temples, and you feel her reaching into your mind, forming images from the darkness. Runes flash through your head, but they're no longer just pictures. They have meaning and you understand them. They're commands. Something triggers in your mind, a distant memory unearthed from a past life long since buried. You can see a vast array of runes, far more than Acantha has shown you, and you know their sound and their meaning and how they fit together. The language of Ingwith, once more at your command.
Something has awakened in your mind. You understand far more than I ever did. Take this knowledge, then, and do what you will with Ter Numith. Now that you understand its purpose, it will serve you in whatever way you wish.
She retreats from you.
A speaker of dead tongues now, and so he surpasses 100 frustrated scholars in the matter of a few moments. I don't suppose you could look at a few books for me? What do I do with the tower now that I know these words?
Turn it off, I expect. That will be easy now that you can read the runes. The vessels would still roam, but striking them down would return their essence to the cycle. But be careful. That machine controls hundreds of souls, and that volume of essence could easily overload it. Improperly channeling the essence would destroy the machine along with the souls. It would be a terrible loss for posterity.
Out of the corner of his eye, Aloth gives you a sly look. It seems your ravenous new friend has just given us the key to ending this wretchedness for good. And now that we've seen what this machine is capable of, I do hope you're not squeamish about the loss of a few hundred souls.
You said the other towers around the Deerwood were constructed to move souls. Why would the Ingwithans have wanted to do that?
Another mystery. Hypothetically, anywhere they wished. Real question, as always, is why? To intermix them the way a player shuffles his deck? The way a farmer rotates his fields? To collect them like butterflies under glass? To melt them down for raw essence? Unfortunately, I don't know.
That's all. Thanks.
Alright. With that, we are past time. So I think next time we will 100% deal with the tower now that we have this Ingwithan knowledge. We should also talk to our buddy Kana next time, because we have some. We can look at his books for him. But we'll do that next time. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And if you really like our content, check out the Patreon, which is linked down below, where you can watch our content before it's released publicly on YouTube. Also, be sure to check out our Discord, also linked down below, so you can become a part of our community. And I will see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye.